All right, sorry about that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here to Irwindale Speedway here in the Crooked Line Racing League for the 5Kings Motorsports 125. Like I said, here at Irwindale Speedway. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here tonight with Tanner Marr. How you doing tonight, Tanner?
I'm doing good, Zach. Ready to get this season underway and happy to have technical difficulties out of the way early so we know we're all good for the rest of the race.
Absolutely. This half-mile racetrack, 82 degrees is the track temp, 68 degrees air temp. We just had a big update here in iRacing. I'm not sure the modifieds got much of anything. Maybe a setup change, if anything. I'm not sure if you know more on that, but with how big of an update iRacing put out, usually everything gets a taste of some sort of change.
I think it was more visual, like cockpit stuff as
Visual.
far as the modified goes, but I don't think they got a new tire model or anything because the setup's all transferred over pretty good for these guys. They got a pretty loose setup to work with tonight, so it's going to be it should be a good setup to provide some pretty good racing, hopefully.
All right. Well, we'll quickly move over to these pre-race interviews if you want to. You just want to interview top two fastest on qualified right now. So far, Brad Carpenter has the fastest time on the board.
Sorry for the delay, Zach. Brad, this is Zach and Tanner in the booth. You got a copy? All right, he's a little gun shy. So what we'll do here, he said he kicked himself out of Discord. Technical difficulties all around. This is not looking good. We'll go with Rex Hoyle now. I know he's good for an interview. Let me find him. Rex Hoyle, this is Zach and Tanner in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
So Rex, I see right now you'll be starting second on the grid with no inverse tonight or nothing like that. You were able to go out here and turn a few laps for the drivers' meeting. How are you liking the setup so far for tonight?
Feels pretty good. It's a little bit loose for a few laps, but we can deal with it. And we're going to try to put this American Tires distributor car up front.
Right on. Going into this new season, Rex, so you actually you sneaked out and got you a win last season. I saw. Are you expecting to come out and be one of the favorites tonight, or you just want to try to play big picture and go for points more than anything?
Well, we're going to see how the start goes, and just play it from there. Most time I usually lay back a little bit and look at big picture, and we'll probably end up doing that tonight. But we'll see once it gets started.
Right on, buddy. And you got any sponsors, anything you want to throw out, or Zach, you got anything for him before we send him back? I think Brad Carpenter, our pole position guy, I think he's having Discord problems right now.
I'll just say good luck, man. Start of a new season, so everybody gets to start fresh, and you're going to be able to start this new season second. So good luck up there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rex. Zach, I think with the technical difficulties behind, I think I'm good. I can relay to advance the session if we need to, if you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Ready to see some fun racing here at Irwindale. 125 laps here tonight. Going to be a fun season. We'll pull up your schedule real quick so you can see where you're going. Next week, we're heading to Bristol Motor Speedway next week for 125 laps there as well. Nighttime at Bristol. And for those who are on iRacing, know that Bristol just came out with some dirt, but we're going to head to the asphalt and we're gonna get ourselves some regular Bristol racing.
Yeah, Bristol Dirt's a hot topic right now. So I asked you when we was off camera how you felt about it, Zach. What's your thoughts on Bristol Dirt? You liking it pretty much so far?
Yeah, I mean, I did it mainly in the cup cars and the truck, just because that's mainly what I use all the time anyways. And yeah, the cup car, in my opinion, is more fun at Bristol Dirt than than the truck is, just because it's more power and a lot more enjoyable. The truck, you can kind of just cruise around the track, but I mean, it's all kind of personal preference. But either one at Bristol, and I imagine all the actual dirt cars are a lot of fun, but I haven't not had fun in anything yet at Dirt Bristol. Sorry. As we have everybody starting to grid up, we'll pull up your grid here real quick. Brad Carpenter has that pole spot with the 17.119. Rex Hoyle qualifying second on his outside with Christian Pittman behind him in third. Jason A. Day fourth. Matt Zaccardo fifth. Tim Trowbridge sixth with Ken Ziem seventh. Zach Murphy on his outside in eighth. Justin Carey in ninth. Brian Bianchi qualifies 10th. 11th is Brad Ringer. 12th, Ron Daughtry. 13th, Tommy Dunn. And Keith McGilvery, 14th. I believe Sexton is race control, but you can answer that better than I can.
Yes, sir. So Joshua Sexton, Brandon Metler are race control, and I'm not sure about Frank, if he's actually racing or not. I seen he didn't put a time down. And before we get going here, Zach, I just want to take a second to thank the sponsors of the series, 5Kings Motorsports. I know they're closing in on 1,000 likes on Facebook, so you just search out 5Kings Motorsports. I know they'll be tickled to death with any type of like or follow or comment or anything that you can give them, guys. They do a lot of hard work over there, and they like seeing it grow.
Absolutely, and they don't fall short of having fast drivers. Whenever you see these 5Kings guys out, including yourself, there's usually fast. So they have some good drivers kind of representing them on track. As we are rolling off here at Irwindale, a very interesting track to say the least. There's also a bunch of different varieties of the same track here at Irwindale, and you know it. You got the figure eight, you got the inner track, the outer. I mean, there's a lot to this track that isn't being used if you look at the pit road.
They also added the figure eight with the jump on it, Zach.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've tried that or not, but that's a pretty wild experience as well.
Yeah, this track, whether it's serious racing or not, can bring you some joy with either the figure eight or the oval. So tonight we're on this oval part of it on the outer edge of Irwindale, and we are ready to go racing. Brad Carpenter in that 31 machine is the control car. 54, Rex Hoyle on his outside. The green flag is out. Season 2 of the Crooked Line Racing League Modified Series is underway.
As we see Rex Hoyle, I think we're going to see it tonight. I mean, you think of Irwindale, you think up by the walls, Jack. There is a couple racing groups here, but that outside line will be the most dominant line tonight.
And we're seeing a few names not here tonight that we saw in season 1. Not sure. I believe our season champion from last season isn't here tonight. We hope to see some of those guys next week, but we got about, it looks like 14 here tonight, and so far 3 laps in, we're going green. And if you've never watched Irwindale or raced Irwindale, it goes by very quickly. So I mean, we're already coming to lap 4 here, and the longer this stays green, it's just that much quicker the laps are going to tick by.
Yes, sir, and I'm honest to see. Oh, we got contact between Ron Daughtry and the 8 car. Looked like Ron may have gotten to the wall, but the replay will tell all.
Christian Pittman, I believe, was in it. Christian Pittman running a little bit of a different paint scheme than we're used to seeing from him. Caught me off guard a little bit. I'm used to seeing a blue scheme with him. As we'll go on with Christian here. Trying to make a pass on that inside. And the 3. Yeah, I think you called it. Ron Daughtry gets loose and nowhere for Christian Pittman to really go.
Christian, this is Zach and Tanner in the booth. Thought we'd pull you over, get a quick word with you while you assess the damage to that machine. just like Ron got loose on your outside from the looks of it. You were trying to initiate the pass on the inside right then. It's going to be hard to make that bottom work tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to have to drive it in there deep. But sadly, we got 12 incidents already, and it's lap 6. And got Brad spun in front of me, and then I got hit on the restart and all that. So I've got to play real passive-aggressive now to try to work the way through the field.
Well, I'll tell you good luck from the booth between me and Zach. We'll be rooting for you, and I know you threw us for a loop right there with the new paint scheme, Christian. Looking good, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll be here at the end. Maybe you'll be in the top 3 and we'll get to talk to you. Just calm it down and don't get hit 20X tonight.
So we are seeing some suitors down pit road that weren't a part of that wreck. We have at least I think half the field down pit road. Brad Carpenter, I'm not sure, I think he may have been part of it, but Timothy Trowbridge, Matt Zaccardo, Tommy Dunn, Keith McCavalry. So some names not a part of that wreck that chose to come down pit road early.
That's going to be a fuel call right there, Zach. So these modifieds, they're really, really slow at fueling up the car. You add a gallon into the car, you might add 10, 15 seconds onto your lap or onto your pit road time. And they started this race with 9.1 gallons, so I'm not sure these drivers will be able to make it to the end of a 125-lap race. As you know from last season, we do have a competition caution. We did it last season on lap 50 of a 100-lap race. This season it's going to be on lap 60 of a 125-lap race. So I think we're just seeing a little bit of a strategy call right here.
See how it works out for him. That's going to leave Rex Hoyle and Jason A. Day on the front row now for this next restart, with Zach Murphy and Brian Bianchi in 3rd and 4th, and Brad Ringer in 5th on that 3rd row. With the pace car pulling off, your control car Rex Hoyle there on the outside. He looks like he chose the outside. Well, we saw that line, and you said it's definitely the preferred line here, and he chose it on the restart.
But Jason Day actually gets a decent enough start. Actually starts with him. That'll be surprising if we see that happening. Oh, no, we have another caution. I'm not sure where it happened at either, Zach. I saw Christian Pittman key up after it happened, so.
He is slow on the apron.
And he is rolling slow.
Not sure exactly what happened. Oh, okay, here we go. Come back live to you guys here. Going into turn 1, Christian Pittman just slides in a little too high, and actually it looks like maybe the 42 came down a little bit, and they kind of met in one place, I feel like.
Just fighting for that real estate that's not there. I mean, I don't know if either driver did anything wrong except race a little bit too hard in the beginning of the race, but 125-lap race, as you said, the laps click off fast under green flag conditions, so you don't really have a lot of time just to bide your time and just wait.
I will say, though, we'll get this rear chase view here. Heck of a save from the 42 here. We'll check it out. Some contact there, obviously right front to left rear, and that 42 is going to kind of wheel it around and not touch the wall, maybe a tiny bit, but saves that car.
He kissed it. He kissed it a little bit, but yeah, that's Justin Carey with an amazing save right then, and heads up driving by the people around him too for not adding on to that incident. But as we have another caution here, Zach, so this is new to me. I didn't know that the pace car has been updated.
Oh yeah, it's updated to a sedan.
Yeah, so when I set this lobby up, I mean behind the curtain here, I'm race control. I'm the lead admin for this series. So when I set this lobby up today, I saw a sedan. I was like, hey, let's try that. And she's a pretty thing, that's for sure. I can't tell what she is yet, though. It's hard for me to see on my screen right now.
Actually, that's kind of the thing that iRacing's going for with this sedan. They said that they wanted to create less of a lookalike or a brand that you can really distinguish. They're going with kind of a brandless looking car for the pace car.
I 10-4 that describes it then. I mean, that's exactly why. I was following the pace car. I'm like, I don't see no branding on this car.
Yep, that's their. That was their whole thing with bringing a new pace car and the sedan is to create a more, I don't want to say generic, but just non-brand car. So, but it looks nice on the outside. So, we'll see how well it is across the iRacing spectrum. But the green flag is back out. Jason A. Day assumes the lead after Timothy Trowbridge pit. So he's going to take advantage of that, and he's out to a comfortable lead early in this run.
And I'm seeing Zach Murphy. That's our last week's winner. We did a money race last week just to get these boys more accustomed with each other. In the 29 machine, he was looking under the 54 right then, but just going to be tough to pass on that bottom until some tires start to wear. And that's what's going to be the biggest game changer tonight, I think, Zach, is who can save their tires and manage their equipment the best. As we're seeing a little gap between third and fourth place develop right now.
Timothy Trowbridge, he's trying to work his way back through the field after pitting for fuel, like you mentioned. Tommy Dunn in front of him did the time before as well. So some of these guys that pit are in the middle of the back end of the field now.
We hit on that. We had some different drivers that from last season that didn't come out tonight. I think that is from mainly because of the update and Bristol Dirt. But just looking through this field, there's a lot of winners from last season in this field too. So that's what I love about this series is that you have about, realistically every night, 7 to 8 drivers that could go out here and be a shoe-in favorite to win the race.
Absolutely.
Timothy Trowbridge being one of them. I mean, he's really fast.
Jason A. Day still your leader with Rex Hoyle and Zach Murphy behind him in the top 3. And those three have kind of, you mentioned it, pulled away from fourth place Brian Bianchi. As you see him there kind of battling with Brad Ringer a little bit. Maybe just Brad Ringer riding around right now being a little bit more conservative. We'll see. He does get a really nice run, though, out of 2.
You know, another thing, Zach, about this track, I know you hit on the track temp, it being, I think it was 82 degrees whenever you stated it. Yes, 82 degrees right now. And riding up against that wall, that's not a super hot track, but that's hot enough to create a little bit of slick conditions. You make one mistake up near the wall and you're going to be into the wall. That's one thing I hate about these tracks, that you're up near the wall. You take so much laser focus in to be fast on the fast line right here.
The battle back here in the middle to back end of the field is starting to heat up, Tanner. I mean, these drivers are lined up, but it's just so hard to pass that there's not many places to go with it.
And like I mentioned earlier, how long do you wait here? Do you just bide your time until the competition caution at lap 60, or do you try to pick off people as you go? Because we've seen it in the race we called at Bristol together last week in the Xfinity Series. If you step out at all to try to go down low, if we got a caution out.
Yeah, Ken Ziems got loose out of 4. We saw it kind of the back end of the camera. Got loose out of 4 and just a self-spin. So, no, I don't believe there's any contact between anybody, but we'll clarify that. Just a little contact to start the wreck, but he keeps it off that wall.
Did a good job mitigating whatever damage he could possibly get then just by locking it down. But as I was saying, if these drivers that are just riding in the pack like that in a line, if they step out down low, that gap that they leave, it'll be filled up pretty quick, and then before you know it, you could lose 1, 2, possibly even 3 to 4 spots, you know? So you got to pick your spots wisely here.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not want to leave that top side open to try to make a pass that you're not confident about. As it doesn't look like we're seeing anybody pit this time around for fuel. We'll see if we do. I don't see anybody just yet. Oh, yeah, we got a couple takers. Looks like, I believe, Timothy Trowbridge once again. Okay, oh, no, that's Christian Pittman. I gotta do the battle of pink and red cars that look alike this season, I guess.
You gotta relearn them, and I have to do the same thing because there's a couple of new paint schemes, and Christian Pittman, he was a front runner last season, and that's not taking anything away from anybody else. But we've seen his car a whole lot. It was that light blue and yellow car, and now he's in a reddish pink and white car. It's a drastic change, that's for sure.
Brad Carpenter, Ken Zeems down pit road. Ken, the one who spun out, but he's going to get some fuel in that car.
I wanted to hit on it a while ago, Zach, but like I said, it takes so long for these cars to fuel. I think, depending on what their fuel window is like, normally I would know these type things, but Bristol Dirt came out. I wanted to test that, so shame on me. So they may have to go down pit road maybe twice to actually get enough fuel to make it the entire race without going a lap down. So you can't really go down pit road and add 4 to 5 gallons at one stop because you will go a lap down. And I don't know why that is in these cars, really.
Hey, man, I would have been upset at you if you didn't try Dirt Bristol because, I mean, that was something too new and too exciting to not try out. I mean, I don't blame you at all. I tried it as soon as it came out, so I don't blame you.
And I just heard Jason Day come across and say he's taking the outside, so I don't think we're going to have any leader choose the inside tonight, Zach.
The interesting thing is, though, if you take that outside and don't get a good jump, that person on the bottom can really dive into the turn and kind of come up to the high line and take it from you if they have a good enough jump. But with that jump that Jason A. Day got, obviously he's going to be good into one.
As Zach Murphy is actually right on the back bumper of the 54, but like we've said before, he's just in the box right there. But he actually gets the clear of the 14. I've seen a lot of drivers dip down really, really low, just trying to shorten the track as much as they can, but you just got to wonder what's that doing to their tires. You know, they're using their tires more, cutting it sharper like that.
Oh, close racing between the 31 and the 42. They keep it clean, though. And that 31 of Brad Carpenter really likes to use that apron in 3 and 4.
Yes, I'm not even sure if that's considered racetrack down there, Zach. I wouldn't imagine there's too much grip down there.
Hey, there's not much grip, but it's the shortest way around. So if you're far enough ahead of that driver, you see he's not using the apron here. But if you're maybe, at the front tires when you go into the turn, if you dive down to that apron and get a good enough run, you can probably be ahead of them by the exit of the turn. And oh man, that 31 is just trying to get everything he can stuck on that bottom right now.
That's what I was going to say. I think he's more or less stuck right now, and he's trying to mitigate whatever he can and just try to eventually get in. It's going to be really hard to make a pass off the bottom with everybody still on semi-fresh rubber.
Timothy Trowbridge now on the outside of the 31, and if he looks behind him, there's some space in between Timothy Trowbridge and Keith McGillivray, so he might be able to fill that hole, but that hole's starting to close now as the 55 is starting to get close to this battle as well. But not in time. That 31 and Brad Carpenter are going to be able to jump up into the high line and join the party.
I think now, if I'm in these race cars with these guys, I'm just trying to click off laps at this point. I know we're talking about you need to push and stuff like that, but you're already got single file restarts. I would try to get as much of a green flag run as I could to maybe entice race control to go back to double file restarts. Although, no, that's
we did that last time around.
Yeah, we went double file last time.
Yep.
Excuse me.
No, you're okay. Jason A. Day still out in the lead with Rex Hoyle shadowing him just a couple car lengths behind. Zach Murphy, not a far distance, but starting to become a little bit smaller in the mirror of these drivers in third.
I think Zach Murphy is my driver to watch this race after watching him last season and then watching him last week. I mean, he's the type of driver where he's content to ride in third for the first 100 or so laps, and then before you know it, he's knocking on the leader's door.
20 laps out from this competition caution that these drivers will have a chance to go get fuel. And Rex Hoyle wants to get that lead as fast as he can to be able to control the field, but it's going to be tough to pass on that inside. But I was going to mention something, and then I blanked. But Jason A. Day, he used that last restart to his advantage, got a really good jump. And even though Rex Hoyle may be a little bit faster right now, it's just proven just how good that high line is, that Rex right now just nowhere to go unless he wants to try that bottom. and he has space behind him to try it for a couple laps at least.
I've noticed, Zach, that Jason's actually came off of running up near the wall, which he wasn't one of the ones just up there just slapping the wall anyways. But as you see, he's kind of straddling that white dotted line in the corners. I wonder if he's doing that by choice or just basically is out here clicking off laps trying to run away from Rex right now. But yeah, Rex is there. He needs a mistake to happen from Jason Day, and Jason Day is a veteran sim racer. It's going to be far and in between the mistakes he's going to make out here.
Yeah, it might be one of those things where you just don't want to be too close to the wall this early and risk damaging your car. So, I mean, it's working for Jason A. Day right now, and even if he ends up losing the lead, which, I mean, I could see him holding on to that lead just because of how tough it is to pass. But even if he loses it, he's still looking like a pretty fast car. But Rex Oil definitely has some good speed. And I wanted to mention, I like how you brought a new term here into the season 2. Last season it was picking drivers to win, but this season it's just picking drivers to watch out for. Maybe not jinx them as much.
You know, as soon as I said that, I was like, "What are you doing, you idiots?" But then we'll see how it works tonight. And if Zach Murphy ends up having a strong run like he's accustomed to, then we know that's the way to go about it.
Christian Pittman makes a pass on the inside over Ron Daughtry, so he moves himself up into the top 10, and will try to track down that 55 ahead of him. He's starting to make some moves after a couple of early wrecks.
And like he said in his mid-race interview, he's got to be cautious now. He's no longer racing with house money per se. He might still have his fast repair, but they only have a 20x incident where normally it's 24x. So he was already sitting at 12x, so he's right there at the verge of being DQ'd. So you're going to have to be a lot more gun shy now.
Well,
but he didn't look too gun shy. Jumped to the bottom right there.
Yeah, he didn't look too gun shy on the bottom, as he's made a couple passes on the bottom now, and he moves up to 9th. Going to try to track down Timothy Trowbridge now, who's kind of stuck behind 2 cars right now.
That's my favorite saying on here right now. He's just in a box. There's just nowhere to go. As he's looking down low, Timothy Trowbridge is now on the 31 machine of Brad Carpenter, but just not able to make it stick. You almost have to do a dirt Bristol type turn and just do a slide job almost and hope that the guy that you're sliding in front of checks up. As you see, Timothy Trowbridge dives in really deep right then, Zach. Goodness gracious, he drove in a car and a half deep right then.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of one of those give and take situations where maybe you don't want to do it this early, but you got to get going. And so Timothy Trowbridge, the more he's stuck back here in the 8th position, the more those leaders are just running away from him. So you got to think he's starting to get a little impatient, but you can't get too impatient and maybe get a little too aggressive.
It's just risk versus reward at this point as we're counting down the laps to the competition caution at lap 60.
Yep, 5 laps out here as Jason A. Day still your leader, and those front 2 starting to run away with it even more. Now a second ahead of Zach Murphy. But Rex Hoyle has not left the back bumper of that 52 machine in about 15 to 20 laps.
He's just following in his tracks right now, and we've hit on it before. Him stalking Jason Day like that, just filling up that mirror. He's just hoping maybe Jason will make a mistake, maybe get into the wall and exit, or just whatever, any type of mistake that could maybe let Rex Hoyle pounce on it and get that control car. Because at a track like this, if you're out front, I mean, anywhere you want to be in the lead, obviously, but especially here, just to be the control car and to be the guy on the high side setting the pace of the race.
Yeah, it looks like Rex Hoyle just gets through the middle of the turn a lot better than Jason A. Day does right now. If he can, in the middle of the turn, get to the left rear of the 52, that might help him on the back stretch or the front stretch if he can get there in the middle of the turn, but that's going to be pretty tough as well.
Another thing, Zach, we saw people pit earlier. These ones that have decided to stay out and elected not to take their fuel in increments I wonder if this is going to shuffle them back in the pack right here as we're about to have a competition caution thrown any second now. It's going to shake things up if I'm thinking correctly.
60 laps in the books. Competition caution coming very shortly. And there it is. Caution is out. And a nice little run there from that last restart to the competition caution. We'll see if the aggression is ramped up after this competition caution or not. Still a long way to go. Just about to get to halfway.
Zach, I love getting your insights and stuff like that. This competition caution, you got one set of tires to play with. Are you taking your tires now if you're Jason Day, or are you going to try to keep them in your pocket for a late race caution?
Man, if I was in other cars, maybe take tires, but I don't run these cars too much, but from what I've heard broadcasting them, tires maybe not as important as other cars, especially with how long it can take to change them. So, I mean, that's a tough call, just like I said, because I don't really run these cars, but from what I've heard from these guys, I'm thinking maybe if you're not in the front, maybe if you've been in the back and you've maybe been slower than others, why not try out tires? You know, if you're already back there, you might as well try. But if I'm up front, I'm thinking, especially if I'm Jason A. Day, I don't want to give up that lead spot.
You're probably just hit the nail on the head right then, Zach. And I asked Jason over Iris and Comms if he wanted to come into the broadcast booth and give a mid-race interview, and he said, not right now. Hopefully I'll be here at the end. So he's laser focused right now as we see what these drivers are electing to do. I'm seeing
Jason
a lot of cars jacked up right now, taking their tires.
Yeah, they're taking tires. And I was about to say everybody's pitting, and if it wasn't for tires, we're seeing 2 tires actually. Timothy Trowbridge, the 31 of Brad Carpenter, along with Ken Zeems. So we're getting a lot of 2-tire takers, while some of these guys taking 4. And I honestly kind of love the move too.
I was gonna say, when I did about 20 laps out here testing, Zach, and my left sides were fairly new still after 20 laps. I mean, I know they've done 60 laps, but track position, I mean, we've seen it tonight. It's so hard to pass. Track position will be key. As I think we had Brad Carpenter actually come out in the lead here with Timothy Trowbridge. Those were 2 guys that elected to take fuel earlier.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I want to talk about something you talked about. The last couple of cautions, you mentioned how you got to kind of take your fuel in waves. You can't all take it at once. And it looks like Jason A. Day did, and he's a lap down now.
See, I didn't know for sure, but I figured that would happen. You almost got to take 2 gallons here, 2 gallons there, because if not, you will end up sitting in pits too long. And even if you hit cancel, if you want to stop fuel, it's still, they have to finish that gallon before it stops.
Well, the pace car's up and are off, and we still have some people down pit road as Timothy Trowbridge came back down to Philip Moore. And no, they brought the caution back out. They're going to extend it another lap.
I'm glad they did, because that was going to be a cluster right then. And Jason Day said his car was stuck on pit road, would not pull off.
Might be one of those post-update glitches.
As I'm seeing Brad Ringer and Jason Day actually both went a lap down right then, Zach. But as we said, look at Rex Hull. Rex Hull went from running first and second for the majority of the race, and he's actually running 12th now.
Oh, I'm showing 9th.
Yeah, he's moving up the leaderboard.
Regardless, I mean, he's just, he's not he's not up there in that top 2 where he's been all race, and a lot less comfortable when you're in the middle of the pack compared to when you're in the front too.
With Brad Carpenter going to be the control car again. He was the control car at the initial start of the race and gets a pretty good jump here.
Genzeem's matched him well, but just not good enough. And that 31 machine of Brad Carpenter going to be able to get out to that lead. And the 90 not going to give it up, though. He's going to dive down and dive bomb like you talked about. And a crossover move from the 31, but it's not going to work. What a move from Ken Zeems.
There is just 2 wide, 3 wide racing throughout the entire field right now, Zach. I don't know where to watch or where to look.
14 of Zach Murphy. Oh, and we're spinning.
The 14 got it into the, excuse me, well, I don't know the number, but I think it was the 83. I think the car in front of him checked up, but the replay will tell all. But yeah, that was a very impressive move by Ken Zeems to take the lead. Ballsy and risky, but impressive.
That's going to put him in line to control this next restart, and that'll get at least one of our lap cars lap back. And we're going to take a look at what happened here. 3 people using that apron. Oh, and contact up there in front. That was, I believe, the 14 of Brian Bianchi. Let's see who he made contact with here. Looks like that's Tommy Dunn that he makes contact with, the 63. And unfortunately, some drivers, just innocent bystanders, get caught up in that. The 3 of Ron Daughtry. I'm not sure who's showing as the 4. That's Brad Ringer. He's the 76 in the session.
A few different cars tore up right there. Sadly, we see Christian Pittman. I think that ended his night shortly right there. And that's a tough break and a really tough place to find you in that big of a hole this start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Got drivers coming down pit road here. We got about 5 cars. It looks like most probably had to do with that wreck. I'm not sure if all of them, though.
In that jumble right there, Zach, I was trying to look out for Jason Day because we know if iRacing, if you're in the lucky dog spot, if you get any contact, you will not be awarded the lucky dog. If we see Brad Carpenter, I think he was pulling off the pit road right then. But yeah, I'm not sure if Jason's getting his lap back or not. I wasn't able to tell.
Brad Carpenter down pit road, and that's going to... and Ken Zeems doesn't, so he's going to stay in that lead spot with Zach Murphy behind him, Justin Carey, Timothy Trowbridge in that 74. We've been seeing him kind of in the back of the pack, stuck, and he's now inside that top 4. We'll see if he can do anything about this lead from there. We are now 75 laps in of a 125 lap event here tonight here at Irwindale Speedway.
And I just heard Jason Day did not get the lucky dog either, Zach. So that's going to be a tough break. He may not have the dominant car as speed with Rex Hoyle right there, but he had a dominant car as far as leading this race for the first 60 laps.
All right, here we go. Ken Zeems, Zach Murphy, your front row, 76 laps in. Coming to lap 77. The green flag is back out. Ken Zeems, a nice jump. That's going to leave the battle up to the 2nd position. Timothy Trowbridge on the outside of Zach Murphy.
If I'm Timothy Trowbridge in this spot, I don't know if I want to get by Zach. I mean, I guess you do, but if another quick caution comes out, then you're starting on the inside. But it's kind of hard to think like that. With Zach Murphy, he actually went all the way down to the apron again, so he's matching Ken Zeems. He's a little bit faster on the entry. He just can't get it on the exit, though, down there.
Yeah, in this position, you got to take that 2nd position. You never know if you're going to get another caution, so you have to take what's there because, I mean, you can give that up in hopes that there's another restart or in the case that another restart happens, but now you're stuck in 3rd and no chance to really fight that leader as of now. But if he can take that 2nd spot as he blinks out, so we'll see if he blinks back in here.
I think him and Zach Murphy touched right then. I think Timothy just got DQ'd, Zach.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because we saw him in a few. He got incident points, I know, earlier. And I think we just lost our 3rd place runner, Timothy Trowbridge, right then due to 20x incident points.
Yeah, I'm I'm not a big fan of iRacing giving a 4X there, or even a 2X. They do sometimes, but I guess they chose to, and unfortunately for Timothy Trowbridge, he catches the bad end of that stick, as now Zach Murphy in second place.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I was one that made it 20X from when originally it was 24X, but yeah, that didn't look like it needed to be necessarily a 4X right there.
Front two starting to distance themselves. We have a little bit of a battle going on here for the fifth position, as Tommy Dunn trying to work on the back bumper of Brad Carpenter. And here comes, well, I think maybe, oh, that's Brad Ringer. He's a lap down. Sorry, his number didn't match his car, so I struggled to find him.
It's always confusing. Always confusing.
As we have a battle for the lead. Zach Murphy, almost a little contact.
I think Zach's getting the answer. He wants to be this control car now. I think what we're seeing here, first and second, no matter who it's been tonight, Zach, they've been about the same. An impressive slide job right then, I guess you would say. As Kenny Ziem's going to try to bring it back with the crossover move by Zach Murphy. Goodness gracious, these guys are racing.
They're just going to do it over and over again. We're going to keep slide jobbing and taking the lead away every single lap, and they're going to just keep crossing over and do it over again.
This is awesome racing right here. This is what we like to see, but eventually the luck's got to run out.
I think that's it right there.
They can't just keep doing this.
Sorry, I saw Ken Ziem get a little, I think, loose on exit, and I think that was all she wrote. Now Zach Murphy into the lead.
That was pretty thrilling 2 or 3 laps right then, Zach. They just kept on crossing each other back up and slide jobbing. Sorry for calling it a slide job. I know dirt guys don't like it when the asphalt guys say that. Ooh, I thought there was going to be contact right there.
Boo-hoo. We can call what we want.
Exactly. Old Dale Earnhardt Jr. would be happy with us calling it slide job right now.
But yeah, it can't last too long, but you'd love to see it, because it means those drivers are fighting. They don't lose the position and just give up immediately. They want to go right back and take that lead away. I just believe Zach Murphy a little bit faster than Ken right now, and eventually he prevails, and he's starting to build about a half a second gap over Ken Ziems as of now.
With your program that you use, Zach, are you able to see who took 4 tires versus who took only 2 tires or whatnot?
I cannot, unfortunately.
10-4. I'm curious if maybe Zach took 4 and worked his way up. I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I wasn't watching him off the restart after everybody took tires, really.
Still battling going on here, as now Brad Ringer's actually trying to take that 4th position away from Justin Carey in that 42. We got a line from about 4th, and it's about 6 cars deep here. Not all lead lap cars, I believe, but still a 6-car group here, kind of all bunched up, as that battle for 4th starting to heat up.
Yeah, at this point, you don't care where you're going to restart at. You just got to go. You got to go. You got the leaders checking out. As Jason Day's actually throwing his name in the hat, but unfortunately, like we saw, he is a lap down. He's just hoping for a caution with no contact and no involvement, so he can get the lucky dog and maybe fight back for any position that he possibly can get at this point.
All right, Carpenter, we're starting to see you can make a pass on that inside. It's just got to be a very well executed move to the inside, and very well executed by the 31. And now Justin Carey losing another spot, but that is to a lap car, I believe.
So Rex Toole in a 54. We said he restarted 9th, I think it was, Zach, and he's worked his way up to 3rd here, and he's knocking on Ken Ziem's door.
Yeah, and Ken Ziems is knocking on Zach Murphy's door. So this battle for the lead, not only not over between those top 2, but it's about to turn into a 3-car battle.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Rex Tole's speed here tonight. He's I hit on it with Garrett Kinder and some other leagues that we call together, Zach, but Rex is also another driver that's usually pretty quiet in these races, but before you know it, he's running up near the front, and he's proved that again tonight.
Under 30 laps to go here already at Irwindale Speedway here in these modified cars. A great race so far. Some DQs, unfortunately, due to X limits, and That shrunk the field to about. I'm seeing. Yeah, no, Timothy. So that shrunk the field to about 10 to 12 cars, I believe, maybe 13. But it is a great battle, really, all around the track. We're not only for the lead, but it has started to string out a little bit. We're having a great battle for 4th and 5th.
Absolutely. There's good battling going on everywhere right now. This is I'm glad I got talked in to putting this race on the schedule first, because I was worried about it just being a top 3 track, but there is passing to be done. If you just got to be aggressive, and you got to pretty much just full send and hope it works.
Here comes Ken Zeems and Rex Hoyle. Going to try to contest for that lead, but Zach Murphy holding on to it for now. Only 25 laps to go here tonight, so not a lot of time for these drivers in the 90 and 54 to try to make an attempt at that lead, and it's going to be even harder for Rex Hoyle, obviously, since he's 3rd, so he's going to have to potentially pass 2 cars separately, and that's a lot of work for 24 laps where, we're running 17-second laps.
Yeah, you got to go at this point if you're Rex. You just got to hope for the best, and you don't want to destroy your car or the 90 machine, but if you want to win, you can sniff the lead up there, and you've been in the lead this race. You just got to go to the bottom and hope it works. We saw some excellent slide jobs and some crossover moves happen tonight, so we know it can happen. You just got to get there and be able to do it, though.
As Ken Zeems really aggressive into the turn, trying to get everything he can. But Zach Murphy right now executing these laps very well. Not being over-aggressive, just easy in, easy out, and that has him with about a 4 to 5/10 lead. And it's kind of staying there, but you'd rather stay consistently at a 4 or 5/10 lead than overdrive and obviously shrink that battle to the second place, or the gap to the second place.
As you see, it's about a 5-second gap, I think, if my math's correct, to the 42 machine and 4th Justin Carey. So they definitely got some wiggle room to step down low if they need to. But like you said, you start battling too hard, that's going to let Zach Murphy walk away a little bit further and further.
So Brad Carpenter in the 31, he was up to 4th. I'm not sure if he was short on fuel, but I would assume he was, because he had to go down pit road there and now a lap down.
See, that's another thing. I think as the season goes on, Zach, drivers will start to realize that. But the thing is, I'm disappointed because I think I hit on it tonight in a driver's meeting that you might want to take your fuel in increments so you don't go a lap down, or you have enough fuel to make it to the end. But, it just goes to show how long it does take to fill these cars up. You have to do it over separate cautions.
I believe he went under green here because he was running 4th, and then I saw his name go into pit road. And once you go to pit road in a half-mile track under green, you're definitely destined to go at least 1, if not 2 laps down. And right now, that 31 machine is 2 laps down. So yeah, that pitting under green, that's going to cost you 2 laps here.
So Zach, I got a race control admin in here with us right now, Scotty Stevens. Scotty, how you liking the action up front right now?
It's pretty awesome, man. Just crossing each other over back and forth. It's insane.
Yeah. So normally I wouldn't bring somebody else in the booth right now, but man, they did that for like 3 laps. As we see, Zach Murphy's actually battling with Kenny Zeems again. He must have got the pass after I moved you over.
And caution is out. Justin Carey has an issue, and that's going to cause some late race drama here at Irwindale.
That is definitely going to shake the field up here. And for the ones, Zach, that didn't take enough fuel, what do you do here? You got to go down. You got to get the fuel. If you don't have enough, you just got to hope you're not in the top 3 or 4 that has to take some fuel here.
Oh, absolutely. I don't care where you are on track. If you know you're short on fuel, as we see contact here, puts that 42 in the wall and just gets loose off of it. It looks like, yeah, it spins around. But yeah, I don't care where you are in the field. If you can't make it on fuel and you know it, which maybe he's just letting the pace car by. Then you got to pit, because you got to make sure you can make it to the end, or else you're going to finish last compared to everybody else that was able to finish the race under power. So Absolutely. I mean, even if you're in the lead, you don't want to give up that lead, but if you're short on fuel, it's not going to mean much if you stay out there in the lead anyways, because you're going to give it up when you run out.
You're exactly right. I mean, you're playing with hand grenades at that point. As you see Zach Murphy, I think, is Zach Murphy dipping down pit lane? Because we haven't seen Kenny Zeems and Zach Murphy pit but only one time this race, Zach.
That is Zach Murphy, but Ken Zeems does not come down pit road. So we're gonna see which one works out as Keith McGlivery goes to pit road, along with Zach Murphy, but nobody else on the lead lap. So Ken Zeems, Rex Hoyle, Tommy Dunn, Matt Zaccardo, and Jason A. Day are gonna stay out. Jason A. Day back on the lead lap.
And you'll notice here he actually is he'll be restarting 7th, Zach. So he led a majority of this race at the start. Scotty, I don't know if you saw the start of this race or not, but I know you saw all the crossovers like that. This fuel issue tonight is definitely shaking up this field a lot. And that was when you were supposed to talk, Scotty, but it's all right. We'll get you going next time.
So we're going to be under 10 laps to go here when we go back racing. The lights are still on that new sedan. So if we get the one to go this time, we'll go back racing with 8 laps to go. And Ken Zeems going to try to hold on to that lead that he just took away before that caution came out.
Looking at the pace car, not to take anything away from these drivers, but if I had to put a manufacturer on it, I think it's more of a Kia than anything, Zach. Although we went over that, it's not a manufacturer right now. It don't have the branding. That's just what it reminds me of.
Hey, I think that's their goal. Is like, hey, you can think of it as whatever you want. We just don't want to tie it to a certain brand for reasons.
Right. Probably monetary reasons, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
As you see, the drivers are about to pull them belts tight one more time, and this could be possibly the last restart of the race unless stranger things happen, which stranger things definitely can happen.
Pace car is out. The green flag is out. 8 laps to go here at Irwindale Speedway in the season opener for Season 2 here in the Modified Series in Crooked Line Racing. The battle for the lead is heating up. Rex Hoyle, he's going to try to look low, and here comes Zach Murphy, who just pit right now in that 4th position, trying to make a pass on 3rd place Matt Zaccardo. But here goes Rex Hoyle once again, going to try for the lead, but we've seen you're going to have to dive bomb for that lead. You're not going to really be able to make that pass just by getting to their inside. So you're going to have to dive down to that inside.
It's just going to be one of the things you just got to fully commit. You can't just halfway commit to it, so you can't be half pregnant. You just got to fully commit to it. But you see Rex Hoyle, he is stalking Kenny Zeems right now, just filling that driver's mirror up. As he looks down below right now, Zach, he's going to have to just throw it in there and hope for the best. We've seen it happen. It's worked flawlessly so far tonight for most drivers, but it is a huge risk.
Yeah, I think Rex is trying to be patient right now, but he's got to make the move sooner rather than later, or else it's just going to be too late. As we're down to 4 laps, coming to 3 laps to go, 17-second laps. So these laps are going to tick by very quickly, as we also have a little battle going on for 3rd here. Is Zach Murphy, like we mentioned, he pit last time around, so that took him out of 2nd place and puts him into 4th as he's battling Matt Zaccardo for 3rd right now. And he's just not able to make that slide job work like he was earlier.
It's going to be hard for Rex. I'm just watching this battle up front. No disrespect to the guys in the back of the pack, but if Rex Hoyle is going to make this work, I mean, he's down to the last lap right now. So this is do or die at this moment.
Yeah, the white flag is out. Everything's off the table. Going to try everything you can to try to win this race. Kenny Zeems done a really nice job at holding on to this lead. Looks like he's going to make it on fuel. Can he make it and beat Rex Hoyle to the checkered? He will. Ken Zeems wins the first race of Season 2.
The first race presented by 5Kings Motorsports. Like I said, you can like them on Facebook. It meant a lot to the guys. Kenny Zeems right then, or Ken Zeems, sorry. His son's name is Kenny Zeems. But Ken Zeems, he made a great pit call right then. Elected to take 2 tires to take the track position. He made it work with fuel, Zach. Very, very impressive. Scotty, I know you got to the race late. What's your overall thoughts on the race there?
You had 2 of the best up there battling for the lead back and forth constantly. So setup must be pretty good.
And for the ones wondering, you can get the setup at McConey Setup Shop. It's built by Trevor Edwards. It's McConeySetupShop.com. They can hook you up with this setup or any other oval or road course setup. And they do dirt as well with the new Dirt Bristol coming out. I know everybody's loving that. You can get you a setup there too for that. Zach, I'm going to go ahead and start moving our top 3 finishers over. We'll start with third place finisher Matt Sicardo, if I can find him in Discord. Zach, you got it, buddy.
All right. Hey, Matt, Zach, and Tanner in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so a great race. You start 5th. You finish in that podium position. We saw you kind of in that middle of the pack to back early on. Just how tough was it to be kind of in that battle of 4 or 5 cars?
Oh man, it was a tough one. I mean, started up front and then I pit early because we needed fuel. I wanted to make sure I didn't have to take fuel, and we took tires. And I mean, before that last caution came out, I had my hands full. My tires got warm and it was sliding all over the place. And glad Zach ran me clean there because I don't think I was going to hold him off a couple more laps. Whew.
Yeah, man. I mean, we hit on it all night how tough it was to actually initiate a pass here. You basically just had to throw it in and almost pray for the best. But I noticed you all night. You made passes down low, but you stayed to the high line and you stuck to your guns up there. And you said your tires heated up. Going into the competition caution, was you expecting to take 4 tires, or did you do a 2-tire stop to try to get track position?
Well, I was going to take right sides only, and then I came in too high on my pit stall, and I had to back up and pull forward, so I switched it over to left sides and then came back in and took right sides and did all 4 under the same caution, started in the back. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad I did do that because I don't think I would have finished where I did if I didn't.
I was going to say, to make that type of mistake in a competitive league like this is, bravo, buddy, on getting back in the top 3 for a podium finish. And this would be a good points finish for you to start the regular season off. And so other than that, you got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out before we send you back to your race team?
I just got to thank Apgar Esports. Congrats to my teammate Ken Zeems on the win, and I don't thank you guys for putting this on. Had fun. Look forward to next week.
Thank you, Matt. And I can't lie, I'm a terrible race control. I don't even know where we're heading next week. I've been so scatterbrained trying to get the league started that it slips my mind right now. But anyways,
I
good
haven't
top
even
3
paid
finish.
attention. I don't
Bristol
know.
Motor Speedway.
That's me. I just get on here and talk. But
Yep.
good top 3 finish tonight, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you.
By the way, we're heading to Bristol Motor Speedway next week.
All right, Zach, we have Rex Hull, second place finisher in the booth now.
Well, for some reason, my Discord. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Rex, Zach, and Tanner in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, sir.
Awesome. So we just talked to Matt about how kind of tough it was when you were in a pack of cars. We saw a lot of passing on the inside, where you kind of slide jobs or dive bombing, whatever you want to call it, in order to make that pass in the bottom. Did that ever come to mind at the end of that race for you to try to pass Ken on the inside?
I thought about it, but I'm the kind of guy I'd rather run second and not wreck myself or somebody else. So I just tried to do what I could. I gave it all I had, and was take to second place and head for the house of cars in one piece, and had a great time out here tonight.
You know, Rex, I hit on it every week in this broadcast booth whenever I'm talking about you or whenever the broadcast is on you. You're one of them drivers that you stay quiet, you don't get in any incidents, you don't cause any incidents. But as these races start to go on, you always find yourself towards the front. Tonight, though, that was completely different. Not the incidents part, but you were running second behind Jason Day. You were just filling up his mirror the entire time. Leading into that competition caution, I kept seeing you look low. Did you kind of have the same mindset then where I'll just take the second place finish for the stage basically and come back and try again after the competition caution?
Well, it was early in the race then. I wasn't going to try to make any moves there. I tried to get down under Ken for several laps there, last 5 laps, but couldn't get the forward bite I needed. So I just I didn't want to get into him, and so it just will take the second place.
Rex. And I'll tell you, like I told Matt, that was a great finish. I mean, you boys, you put on a heck of a show, not just up front, but throughout the entire field, but up front especially. So can't never take that away from y'all, and y'all ran each other clean. So bravo for that. You got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there before we send you back to your race team?
I think American Tire Distributors; those guys have been behind me for several years now. Geppetto's Pizza and ribs, and I can't forget about Ted's Tuxedos. Those guys helped me out a lot.
Or do you get you a good set of tires from American Tire Distributor, but you get looking good in the car with Ted's Tuxedos? I like it, Rex.
I hear you, man. We try to look good and go fast at the same time.
Right on, buddy. Well, we'll see you next week at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's a nighttime race at Bristol, so you know there'll be a lot of sparks flying.
Yeah, probably will. We'll get a car ready and we're gonna be there.
Right on, buddy. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and we'll move on finally to our race winner, Ken Zeems. Ken, Zach, and Tanner to the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, great showing there at the end. You started P7, and you find your way maybe in some strategy all the way up to the front. I believe you took 2 tires when others took 4 at that competition caution. Were you confident in your car that you could, once you took 2 tires and got out to the lead, you could hold it?
Well, at the start of the race, actually, Matt Zacaro is my teammate. I told him, the way the race starts is pretty much the way my strategy is going to be. So, I mean, I knew there was supposed to be a competition caution. I mean, and guys were dicey right off the get-go. So I figured, well, I'm going to stay back and try to save some stuff. The cautions came out. I went in and topped the thing off with gas a couple of times, so that was out of the way. And then I just went in. Yeah, I took 2 tires. Track position's key at this place. It's tough to pass. So I figured, if anything, I'd try to be able to get a top 5, but everything worked out. Got P1, man.
So, Ken, this is Tanner Moore in the booth. I've ran with you, and I think it's your son. Before I ask your questions, Kenny Zeems, is that your son?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. So, for the viewers at home that don't know, that's 2 of the fastest modified drivers you'll find on the server. So whenever I got them to jump on board Crooked, I knew they'd be putting on shows, and I knew they'd be threats to win each week. Ken, sorry, excuse me. I watched you battle Zach Murphy for about 3 laps back and forth doing slide jobs and crossovers. What's the adrenaline like whenever that's happening, when you know you're racing on the edge? And I would watch you get loose, but you would never, ever lift out that throttle. Like, what's going through your mind during that moment?
Well, and I have a lot of respect for Zach. But first off, I race with the guy a lot. He's one of the best down here. So, one thing is I don't want to get into and wreck him. Like I said, I have a lot of respect. So, you got to be careful with that, especially doing the slide jobs at this track. It's really the only way to pass. So, I mean, it was fun. He got into the wall there a little bit, and that opened up my opportunity. So, I didn't know. We could have kept going back and forth, I think, with it, but I didn't know how much I was going to burn up the car, so I was actually trying to save a little bit again. So, like I said, he got in the wall, and that opened up the opportunity there. I was able to hold on.
I'll be honest, it was really, really impressive watching y'all do that. I think it was 3 to 4 laps where y'all never touched, and y'all gave each other plenty of room, because you knew when you went to the corner, whoever was on the high side, y'all knew that inside guy was coming up in front of you regardless. And you boys, y'all put on a show, and I mean, just hats off to y'all for that, and especially hats off for you for securing win number 1 in your first really official debut race for Cricket Line Racing. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was awesome. Like I said, T1 is great. I was hoping for a top 5 going in, so everything worked out. It was actually a great run for our team. Like I said, Matt, he's my teammate there. He got P3, so it's a great night, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, you can't complain putting 2 teammates in the top 3. So, with that said, Ken, congratulations on your win again. You got any sponsors or shout outs you want to throw out there before we send you back in with your race team with Matt?
Yeah, I got to thank Ryko Motorsports, Ken Byron over there. I mean, obviously they do a lot for us and a lot for Kenny, and I appreciate everything he does. And I got to thank all my AppCar teammates and everybody over there, Chris AppCar, team owner, and I can't forget. I got to give a shout out to Tyler Catalano. He always feels neglected in interviews, so I got to mention him. And Tyler, thanks for being my friend. I appreciate it.
So behind the curtains, Catalano is all 3 of them. I think there's a group of 3, right, Ken? They were supposed to come and race tonight. I'm not sure where they are or what they're doing.
I don't know. I think they ended up doing something else. They're limited with their racing, honestly. We're working on their real race cars, so but they're good. They're good kids, and we were lucky enough to become teammates with them through iRacing, and we run a Western New York group. It's from the area we're in, and we all got together on there. And actually, Chris put a thing out to start a team, and us, me and Kenny and the Catalanos, we got on board, and we become good friends, and we're great teammates. And then Matt came on board, and we got Russell Peets. It's a great team, man. We had a lot of fun.
Right, okay. And that's all you can ask for. Get on here and not only be fast, but create good friendships in the process. Well, Ken, we'll get you out of here. This has been Zach and Tanner in the booth. Congratulations on your win, and we'll see you next week at Bristol, buddy.
You got it, man. I appreciate it.
Congrats, then. Ken.
Thank you.
Well, Zach. That was pretty dicey in the beginning, like Ken hit on, but man, it turned into a really good show at the end. Scotty Stevens, it turned into such a good show that he texted me and said, "What about these slide jobs?" or something to that effect, and I felt the need to pull him in the booth, and then he just went gunshot on me and didn't.
I'm a mute.
Oh man, well, yeah, I mean a great race tonight. I'll go ahead and pull up the results while I'm talking here, but I think that was the biggest thing was they were able to battle cleanly while having a lot of green flag laps. But when it came down to those slide jobs and continuous slide jobs and then crossovers and slide jobs, the fact that they were able to not wreck was probably the most impressive feat of the night, was just them not wrecking while doing that. So shout out to these drivers who were able to put on a clean race while also putting their cars in very dangerous spots. So we'll scroll. Actually, that has everything there on your results page. Ken Zeems gets the win here tonight. Rex Hoyle, Matt Zaccardo, the rest of your top 3. Zach Murphy, Tommy Dunn round out the top 5 with Keith McDelivery 6th, Jason A. Day 7th, Brad Ringer 8th, Brad Carpenter 9th, and Justin Carey rounding out the top 10 with 11th being Brian Bianchi, Timothy Trowbridge 12th, Ron Daughtry 13th, and Christian Pittman finishing in that 14th position. A struggle for some of these drivers to start out the season, but luckily for them, we got a good amount of races left for them to try to get it together and kind of get a little bit more settled in here in this season.
Yes, sir. I mean, you can, with this type of format, 12 races, you get 2 drop weeks. You can afford a bad race, maybe, but you got to, if you have that bad race and put yourself in a hole, you got to try to climb out of it as quick as you can. But overall, I'm satisfied with the race. I'm satisfied with how it came out, and happy to be up in the booth with you, Zach. And really happy to have 5Kings Motorsports as the branding for this race. Like I said, you can like them on Facebook. They're slowly but surely closing in on 1,000 likes. So any and every like counts and means a lot to them guys.
You got any other sponsors we need to thank here tonight before we head out?
Well, I mean, if you're going to ask me, I'd like to send a shout out to thebuttkicker.com, promo code 5Kings. That'll get you 20% off your entire discount or your entire purchase. We got Rocket Racing setups. They came on with the team. They promo code yet again, 5Kings. That'll get you 10% off your your entire purchase. I'll figure it out eventually. And then MF Racing Designs on Facebook. He puts together all our logos, all our paint schemes, and without those three, for sure, this wouldn't be possible. And I'm sure I'm forgetting people out there. If I am, I'm sorry, but those three are the rock. And then just the teammates in general: Scotty Stevens, Joshua Sexton, Brandon Mettler, Tyler Johnson, Jason Day, Timothy Trowbridge, Christian Pittman. I mean, the list goes on and on with all them guys. So, and then you, Zach, and Rebels Racing Network, you've let me come in the booth and welcome me with open arms, and we just appreciate it, and we love you, Colin. Crooked Line Racing. We hope you're here to stay, brother.
Absolutely. Had a lot of fun here tonight. Make sure to tune in next Tuesday where we head to Bristol Motor Speedway in this Crooked Line Racing Modified Series. But as for tonight, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in. It's been Zach and Tanner in the booth. Have a good night.